Never stop doing the little things for others. Sometimes those little things occupy the biggest part of their hearts. One day, somewhere, you'll find peace and happiness within your heart. Until then, keep searching, healing, and believing. The journey to peace is often more important than the destination. Life is like a piano. White keys represent happiness, and black shows sadness. But as you go through life's journey, remember that the black keys also create music. Perhaps you are overvaluing what you don't have and undervaluing what you do. Work on your boundaries. You can't be everything to everyone, and nothing to yourself. You don't notice your progress in life, because you are always raising the bar. If you are successful, you will win some false friends, and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. There's a voice inside that doesn't speak words. Learn to hear it. Intuition speaks in whispers. It's your inner guide through life's noise. Trust it, for it knows the path your mind hasn't yet discovered. Be who you are, not the world wants you to be. Cheating on a good person is like throwing away a diamond and picking up a rock. What's broken can be mended. What hurts can be healed. And no matter how dark it gets, the sun is going to rise again. When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. That's where your power is. Life is all about balance. You don't always need to be getting stuff done. Sometimes it's perfectly okay, and absolutely necessary, to shut down, kick back, and do nothing. To heal a wound, you need to stop touching it. Everything will be fine. It's just a matter of time. If you expect the world to be fair with you, because you are fair, you're fooling yourself. That's like expecting the lion not to eat you because you didn't eat him. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. Sometimes, things might seem falling apart, but actually, they're falling into the right place. Sometimes things end so better ones can begin. A mistake repeated more than once is no longer a mistake. It's a behavior, a choice, and it reflects who someone truly is. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. The people who say you can't, and you won't, are usually the ones scared that you will. Contentment is not the fulfillment of what you want, but the realization of how much you already have. Most people are only nice when things don't matter. Beneath the pain is a lesson. Beneath the sorrow is hope. Beneath the struggle is courage. When it seems all is lost, you find what you really need. Worrying is a total waste of time. It doesn't change anything. It messes with your mind and steals your happiness. The biggest mistake you can make is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much. Live life the way you want to live it, because even people who care for you can't be with you every step of the way. Your enemies will often tell you the truth, because it hurts, and your friends will often lie because it doesn't. My belief is firm in the law of compensation. The true rewards are ever in proportion to the labor and sacrifices made. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. I think it's important to have a good hard failure when you're young. I learned a lot out of that, because it makes you kind of aware of what can happen to you. You either solve the problem or leave the problem, never live with the problem. You're not everything you could be, and you know it. If life can remove something you never expected to lose, it can also replace it with something you never dreamt of having. Help yourself. No one else is coming to rescue you. You are your own hero, and the power to change is within you. Start today, because waiting for others will only keep you stuck. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. The chains that hold you back were never put there by someone else. Sometimes we don't want to heal, because the pain is the last link to what we've lost. There is a certain strength in being alone, but there is a great power in being alone and happy. Your darkest moments are what shape the strongest parts of your soul. Pain carves out strength that joy could never give. Embrace the darkness, for it is where your light was born. Stop choosing what's not choosing you. Some paths can't be discovered without getting lost first. Someday, when things are okay, you'll look back and feel proud that you didn't give up. Sometimes, we break ourselves to leave behind the pieces that were never ours to carry. Forgive yourself for accepting less than you deserve, but don't do it again. The people with the worst past can create the best future. The biggest lie you've told yourself is that you're not ready yet. Don't waste a minute not being happy. If one window closes, run to the next window, or break down a door. To accomplish great things, we must not only act but also dream, not only plan but also believe. Some things have to end, in order for better things to begin. A tree doesn't compete with the trees around it, it just grows. Greed is wanting to speak all the time but never listening. Silence holds wisdom, and those who listen learn far more than those who speak. Practice the art of listening, and you'll find greater understanding. He will use you to accomplish great things on the condition that you believe much more in His love than in your weakness. May God break my heart so completely that the whole world falls in. When the road gets bumpy, you don't leave the car, you put the seat belt on. Overthinking the art of creating problems that weren't even there. Things work out when you least expect them. Life has a funny way of surprising us when we're not looking for it. Befriend those who expand your thinking, not just your circle. Choose conversations that focus on growth, success, and vision, not gossip about others. The energy you surround yourself with shapes your mindset and future. Prioritize discussions that uplift and inspire, leaving negativity behind. Life gets better once you stop assuming you will always have more time later. Be productive. Each day should be a step forward. Solitude allows you to be yourself with no outside influences. The more alone time you give yourself, the more you become comfortable with your own company. It's a whole lot more satisfying to reach for the stars, even if you end up landing only on the moon. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Don't be discouraged. It's often the last key in the bunch that opens the lock. If you dare nothing, then when the day is over, nothing is all you will have gained. When you compare the sorrows of real life to the pleasures of the imaginary one, you will never want to live again, only to dream forever. Some people only care about you if you are doing something for them. When you start seeing your worth, you'll find it harder to stay around people who don't. The cost of procrastination is the life you could have lived. Be careful who you share your weaknesses with. Some people can't wait for the opportunity to use them against you. Bad days build better days. Someday you will look back and know exactly why it had to happen. You can't always help. Sometimes you will watch people you love make terrible decisions despite the advice you give them. Most of your problems disappear once you start hanging out with smarter, more thoughtful people. If you have the power to make someone happy, do it. The world needs more of that. Fix your eyes forward on what you can do, not back on what you cannot change. When you're working for someone else's dream, you sacrifice your own. Relax. You have a good heart and pure intentions. Things will always end up working out in your favor. If it can be solved, there's no need to worry, and if it can't be solved, then worry is of no use. Envy is a waste of time. You already have all you need. Accepting your flaws is not about resignation, but about finding the courage to improve. Holding on to things will always make you more stressed. If you want to love, you must learn how to forgive. The people who ask the most from you are the people who do the least for you. You define yourself to others by the behavior that you tolerate. You won't always be able to help someone change for the better if you keep trying. There will come a day when you decide you can't do it anymore, and they clearly don't want to change. If you say you'll do something, do it. Your word is one of the most valuable things you can cultivate, and if your word ever loses that value, it will be hard to get it back. The quickest way to improve your life is to stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline. Don't be angry with people who don't have the capacity to change. Be yourself. People don't have to like you, and you don't have to care. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Accept both compliments and criticism. It takes both sun and rain for a flower to grow. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth. Keep to yourself, stay away from idiots, stupidity is contagious. Don't say yes to everyone to make them comfortable. Check with yourself too, before you commit. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same. I'm not perfect, but at least I'm not fake. Confidence does not come from an expectation of success, it comes from a comfort with failure. If nothing else, some people just teach you how not to be. You think you know someone, but mostly you just know what you want to know. Accept the things you cannot change, and change the things you cannot accept. People change for two reasons. Either their minds have been opened, or their hearts have been broken. The short-term pain of accepting the truth is much better than the long-term pain of believing an illusion.